Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm here with the one and only Mr. Matt Monte. This is Matt Monday. Good morning.
Marty Hines.
Marty Hines Monday?
It's definitely a team.
Yeah, it is, but Matt Monday just sounds better.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Matt Monte Monday. Hey, everybody. Matt and his wonderful wife, Mindy, just had an incredible weekend out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. You guys were on a marriage weekend getaway.
That's right.
Retreat, kind of reignite the fire.
Sure.
And good morning, Nelda and Mindy. So maybe we can get Mindy to pop on here or something.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Morning, sweetheart.
And there's my wife, Chrissy. Good morning. And so, what, if you don't mind, Matt, why don't you just kind of kick off this morning and let us know what the weekend was about, and then we'll get into some things.
How much time you got? I mean, so it's XO Conference 2018, and it's put on by Jimmy Evans and a bunch of other phenomenal pastors. I can't mention them all, mainly because I can't remember them all. I remember what they were speaking about. Every single one of them had a huge impact. Miles McPherson, former San Diego Chargers, now has his own church in San Diego, California.
Yeah.
Bethke from Hawaii. Dave and Ashley Willis from Augusta, Georgia. And I mean, there was so much. I mean, day one was, 9:30 in the morning to 9:30 at night. I mean, obviously there was breaks, lunch and dinner in there, and then Saturday morning. But I mean, you were literally overloaded. I mean, I think Melinda would agree with me. I mean, we're still processing everything.
Yeah.
It was absolutely amazing. And it was one of those where, men, go. Okay? I didn't want to go. I went because I love my wife. Right. But
Confessions.
Then, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm there, and within the first 5 minutes, literally, I'm like, I'm really glad I came.
Wow.
There's emotions falling out all over the place, and that kind of stuff makes me a little uncomfortable. But I mean, there was a lot of laughter. It was incredibly real. I mean, these pastors were being vulnerable with their lives, their history, their past. Wow. And you were really able to connect. And, I kept looking at my wife and being like, yeah, that's a little too familiar. But, they've been married, 44 years now?
Wow.
So that's something they overcame, and they gave us the tools to do it. I mean, it was absolutely, anything from finances to children to sex life to, it was unbelievable. I mean, not only showing the gospel and the importance of marriage through the gospel, but real life scenarios they were tying in. I mean, Miles McPherson, he was tying in the science of the mind and the brain, and he was proving the importance of marriage and God's existence and the Holy Spirit through modern day science.
Wow.
I mean, it was unbelievable.
Incredible.
And then Bethke from Hawaii, and I hope I'm getting that right, he was tying in, the family dynamic and how it's progressed from 1901 to 1945. And it's like, okay, we're in this step now, and here's the struggles we have, and here's how we can overcome it as a society. And it's like, when you start combining, historical, for me anyway, everyone's different, historical facts and science and just proving everything. And to be straight, I don't need any more evidence that God exists, obviously. But it was blown away. If you get an opportunity to go to an XO conference with Jimmy Evans or any of these other pastors, look it up, Google it, hashtag XO18. There's so much information on it. Look it up. Sign up and get the heck out of town. Go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's obvious that you've got an incredible overflow of information and life-changing information.
Definitely life-changing.
I appreciate the fact that you said you don't need any more evidence that God exists. After all, just staring at ourselves should be proof of that. But nonetheless, it happens in our society. So, Matt, obviously, you have come back a different man. You're glowing. And I can imagine Mindy's the same as she's watching this. By the way, hello to everybody that's jumped on. We've got a lot of people who've jumped on this morning, so good morning to you. But Matt, real quickly, I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here. Yeah. But what's one thing that you took away that would be like your milestone, your benchmark, and then I'm gonna put you on the spot. What do you think is one thing Mindy really took away from this?
I'm not going to let you do that second part. I don't speak for my wife. Sweetheart, you can speak
put it in the comments below, and then I'll have him talk about it.
Not only is she a strong, powerful woman who can speak for herself, but I will definitely screw it up and misrepresent her.
Okay.
So you're going to have to put her on, and she'll answer that. As far as me, one of the things that I was struggling with, especially with my wife, was work and business, right? What are our driving factors? How do we equally divide the responsibilities of home and work? How do we communicate financial wise? And so Jimmy Evans talked about, our financial languages, right? And I didn't bring my notes. I can't remember them all, but turns out I'm a driver. So what does money mean to me? Basically, there's 4 main definitions from the Bible that he was able to break down. And so just understanding the different financial languages and definitions, that can help us understand each other. So Melinda was be like, oh yeah, okay, you're when it comes to money, you're a driver, based on success and creating more money. And then Melinda, if you're on, correct me if I'm wrong, amiable, I believe
that's what you said.
And it comes down to security.
Okay.
So which makes sense. I mean, so men's number one goal in marriage is to be honored, right? Women, their number one priority is security.
Yeah.
So it was. I mean, yeah, it was huge and incredibly helpful. And we walked away with a greater understanding, a closer connection, respect, which is obviously important as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, your wife has responded here, and yes, she said security, be a servant. If you feel like you're dying for your husband, you're doing it right. Wow, that's a pretty powerful statement.
No, I mean, and there was, hey, since you're on, sweetheart, who was that pastor who was he had his own church not far from South Lake? The guy was a crack up. I mean, talk about, laughter. I mean, he was getting real. He was getting deep. I mean, tears were flowing, but at the same time, people were literally falling out of their chair with laughter. I mean, the guy definitely, everyone there had a gift, right? And he was talking about one of his experiences where he crawls into bed and his wife, who'd been, home all day with the children and wasn't feeling well, she wants, almond milk. And he's like, "Wait, you wait till I get into bed? You wait till you put on my pajamas?" And I'm not going to try and redo his sermon. I won't do it justice, but and we need to sacrifice for a wife. If we can do it, and just if it's painless, it's not sacrifice. Think about what Jesus did. That was sacrifice. Hours before he was crucified, he was washing the feet of the apostles.
Yeah.
He wasn't just leading. he was serving, which is what true leaders do. So men, you want to lead your home, serve your wife. Sacrifice.
Wow.
Make sure it hurts. I don't care how tired you are, or if you got the man flu, or whatever it is. Make sure you do something every day that you don't want to do, that's painful, that hurts. We were made to serve, so start serving.
Wow. Well, I think Mindy mentioned that she thinks it's Pastor Tyler.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
So, heck, we may have to come back next week, Matt, and with some of your notes and just kind of dig into it a little deeper.
It's my wife's notes, by the way. I'm not going to take credit. I don't.
Okay.
I'm a horrible note taker. My wife is a professional note taker. She's a doctor, obviously.
Oh, there you go.
So you should get her on here.
That's great, because Chrissy and I have actually talked about, getting her on here as well.
Yeah.
And it'd be great to somehow figure out a way to fit all 4 of us into a small camera here, but or just do some discussions and topics.
Yeah.
So incredible stuff. We could be here all morning, obviously, but Matt, just give us one final takeaway, just one last thing from the weekend. Just kind of, you've already kind of punched us guys in the gut, and that's okay. Keep punching, because we need it. That sacrifice is going to hurt. But maybe one last thing that you'd just like to share with all of us, and especially us men, so we can be more Christ-like with our wives.
When you tell your wife you love her, don't end there. Say, I love you because.
Okay.
Because why? I mean, throw something in there. I mean, I love my wife because, I mean, she is so sacrificial. Tell her. I mean, if, like Melinda just said, Mindy, if you think something positive, say it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, your wife says, I love you, and you say, oh, me too. Oh, I love you. I mean, why? Tell her why. So,
I'm the me too guy. I guess I got to get better at this.
You need to cut that out.
All right.
You're phoning it in.
All right, man. There you go. I just got socked in the gut, and it feels good. It feels good. So, sweetie, I love you because you're an image of Christ. You are a sweetheart. You're an incredible mom, and I love you. You're an awesome woman. I need to let you know that more often. Well, listen, we've had a lot of people jump on here this morning. Hey, would you do us a favor? Because, in America today, the family dynamic is crumbling. It's being crushed, and we need to make a difference.
But there's hope.
There is hope.
There's this book that was written roughly 2,000 years ago that provides us hope. Open it up, and the answers are there, I promise.
It's all in there. It's an incredible. It's basic instructions before leaving life.
Yeah.
Or something like that. That's
right.
The way I remember someone used it as an acronym. But hey, listen, here's another thing of hope is, would you do two things? Like this video and then share it. And maybe even tag people married couples that are maybe struggling, or that God's just laying on your heart. Say, hey, reach out to this one and share this with them. Help us just reach more people. That's all Matt and I are trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's just make a difference and bring some hope into people's lives. So with that being said, folks, we're going to let you go. Have a wonderful Monday, and we'll see you right back here again tomorrow. God bless.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Matt.